Get a cup of coffee, everybody. I've had 2 cups, so I need another one. It's been a long day yesterday, of course, putting everything together for the webinar, which which is incredible, incredible feedback, and you can get your ticket today. All weekend long, get your ticket. Okay, just go to paulbegleyprophecy.com. I'll put up a couple phone numbers up for you as well. You can call by phone when I'm done with this report. Planet X. But first, let's put a shout out right now for www.noblegoldinvestment.com. No. I'm used to saying it. www.ketowithpaul.com. That's www.ketowithpaul.com. Guys, Americans' motivation for fitness has never been higher than this summer. A shocking 42% of Americans have stated they want a beach body. Are you serious? But many of whom are switching to the keto diet to reach these health goals. The keto diet is almost impossible to keep. But to reach these goals, I highly recommend taking this amazing keto powder. It is one of the most popular keto supplements on the market today because it helps give you the benefits of those elevated ketones even without following that highly restrictive keto diet, which means you don't have to eliminate the carbs. It's specially formulated to help boost that metabolism, control your appetite, and heighten the energy levels. Try it today and receive 51% off plus several other free bonuses if you order today. Go to the link below on my description. That's www.ketowithpaul.com. That's www.ketowithpaul.com. Guys, you'll be glad you did. You can work on that beach body. I'm working on it slowly. All right, now it's so good to see everybody here. Wow, what a night. Oh, what a night. Watching the webinar till 6 a.m. Migraines are telling me that this is the end. What a webinar, what a night. I mean, seriously, it was, it was, and it is amazing. And the feedback we're getting is, Paul, by far, this was the most informative webinar ever on aliens and above and below. Now, let's talk about this picture behind me here that was sent in to us from one of our followers from New Mexico. This is an incredible photo, okay? And I want to show it to you here in a second. Okay, yeah, I'll put the phone. Thank you so much, Scripture Reference. Thank you for putting those numbers. Actually, there's only going to be 2 numbers today. So let me, only 2 numbers today. Yeah, okay, you got 2 numbers. That's the 2. Yeah, 765-414-2230 or 765-414-6299. You got it. You got it. That's the numbers. That's right there. So, guys, if you want to get get the webinar, listen. You got all weekend long to get that ticket. All weekend long to get that ticket. Okay. And man, it's incredible. Feedback we're getting is insanely awesome, and I appreciate that. But we put a lot of work into this one. I can tell you right now, I put a lot of hours and a lot of work, not just me, but Heidi and Israel Hall and the entire staff, really, taking the orders and processing for you guys. I just got to say that they all worked very hard. Heidi, everybody involved. Tara and Katz and Emily and Lexi, and I can't remember who all we had helping us get this one done, but wow, very important. So you got all weekend long, get your tickets, okay? All weekend long, get your tickets. Like we said, there's 2 phone lines are open. If you want to call to get your tickets, you can do it that way. You'll really be glad you did because the information's incredible. I went back actually this morning and watched my interview with Avi Loeb. Just that interview alone is enough to really make you think about things. It's an incredible interview. The guy's a great guy anyway, and he's got a lot of credibility to what he has been talking about. And so, wow. Okay. Is this behind me? Is this behind me Planet X? I'm going to show you this. Here's the picture. Now, this was sent in to us from New Mexico. And you can see in the distance, you see at the top there, you see that round planet. Now, this picture was taken from New Mexico, from one of our online members. But, and it's not, you don't see the sun in this picture, as this planet was actually off to the, about the 10 o'clock, off to the left of the sun at about the 10 o'clock on their clock. And they were able to zoom in close enough to where you don't even see the sun. You just see the planet itself in the distance. Now, it's incredible. It is actually an incredible picture. And then I put it behind me there. As you can see, it's right there. And again, I'll show you this again because this is just phenomenal. What is that? I mean, come on, guys. That's not a cloud. That's not the moon. That is some kind of a planet. There ain't no doubt about that. Now, is it Nibiru? I mean, is it the moon that's one of the moons? There's several moons. Marshall Masters actually got a picture sent to him from one of the white hats inside the Pentagon that there was 5 moons orbiting Planet X. And he showed that to us in one of our webinars we did. I think it might have been the one called Effects of Planet X, or maybe it was Deep Impact. I can't remember. One of those. But the question is this Planet X, or is this maybe Nibiru, or one of the other 5 moons? And they say there's 7 moons, actually. But Marshall Masters was able to get a picture sent to him from the Pentagon of 5 moons that were orbiting what looks like this massive planet off to the 10 o'clock, off from the sun to the left at about 10 o'clock. And there you see this picture. That's zeroed in on it. It's a great photograph sent to me. And they blew it up so that I could get a better view of it and actually hold it in my hand. And it is a phenomenal picture. Now, I want to tell you what they say about all of this. I went today and said, okay, what's going on about this? And I actually found some information from NASA. That's right. This is from NASA. And their hypothetical Planet X. This is their report. As you can see, this is a NASA report on the hypothetical Planet X. And listen to this. This is very interesting. The hypothetical Planet X, okay? Caltech researchers have found mathematical evidence suggesting that there may be a Planet X deep in the solar system. This hypothetical Neptune-sized planet orbits our sun in a very highly elongated orbit far beyond Pluto. The object, which the researchers have nicknamed Planet 9, could have a mass about 10 times that of Earth and orbit about 20 times farther than the sun on average than Neptune. It may take between 10,000 and 20,000 Earth years to make one full orbit around the sun. The announcement does not mean there is a new planet in our solar system. The existence of this distant world is only theoretical at this point, as no direct observation of planet nicknamed Planet 9 or Planet X have been made. Now, the mathematical prediction of a planet could explain the unique orbits of some smaller objects in the Kuiper Belt, a distant region of icy debris that extends far beyond the orbit of Neptune. According to astronomers, are now searching for the predicted planet. Now, in depth, back in January of 2015, Caltech astronomers Constant Bastian and Mike Brown announced new research that provides evidence of a giant planet tracing an unusual elongated orbit in the outer solar system. The prediction is based on detailed mathematical modeling and computer simulations, not direct observations. This large object could explain the unique orbits of at least 5 smaller objects discovered in the distant Kuiper Belt. The possibility of a new planet is certainly an exciting one for me as a planetary scientist and for all of us, said Jim Green, director of NASA's Planetary Science Division. This is not, however, the detection or discovery of a new planet. It's too early to say with certainty there's a so-called Planet X. But what we're seeing in the early prediction, based on modeling from limited observations, it's the start of a process that could lead to a very exciting result. Now, Caltech scientists believe that Planet X may have a mass 10 times that of Earth and be similar in size to Uranus or Neptune. The predicted orbit is about 20 times farther from our sun on average than Neptune, which orbits the sun an average distance of 2.8 billion miles. It would take this new planet between 10,000, maybe even 20,000 years to make just one full orbit around the sun, where Neptune completes its orbit every 165 years. So when was this discovered? They estimate that the gravity of this potential planet might explain the unusual orbits, those of the Kuiper Belt. Okay? So that's when was this discovered? Well, Planet X has not yet been discovered, and there is a debate in the scientific community about whether it even exists. The prediction in the January 20th issue of Astronomical Journal is based on mathematical modeling. What is its name? Well, Bastian and Brown have nicknamed the predicted object Planet 9, but the actual naming rights of an object go to a person who actually discovered it. The name used during previous hunts for this long-suspected giant undiscovered planet beyond Neptune is called Planet X. If the predicted world is found, the name must be approved by the International Astronomical Union. Planets are traditionally named for the mythological Roman gods. Why do they think it's there? Well, astronomers studying the Kuiper Belt have noticed some of the dwarf planets and other small icy objects tend to follow orbits that cluster together. By analyzing these orbits, the Caltech team predicted the possibility that a large, previously undiscovered planet may be hiding far beyond Pluto. They estimate the gravity of this potential planet might explain the unusual orbits of those Kuiper objects. So what's next? Well, the astronomers, including Bastian and Brown, will begin using the world's most powerful telescope to search for the object in its predicted orbit. Any object that far away from the sun will be very faint and hard to detect, but astronomers calculate that it should be possible to see it using existing telescopes. I would love to find it, says Brown, but I'll also be perfectly happy if someone else found it. That is why we're publishing this paper. We hope that other people are going to get inspired and start searching. Anytime we have an interesting idea like this, we always apply the Carl Sagan's rules for critical thinking, which include independent confirmation of the facts, looking for alternative explanations, encouraging scientific debate, according to Green. And if Planet X is out there, we'll find it together, or we'll determine an alternative explanation for the data that we've received so far. So now let's all go exploring. Now, the reason I bring this up, what made me go, well, there's two reasons why this morning I wanted to bring this up. One, I received this photograph this week of this recently taken picture of that, what looks like for sure a planet in the distance there, of that photograph taken out of New Mexico. And number two, watching the webinar this morning, rewatching the Avi Loeb portion of the webinar, when he starts talking about how he was able to figure out that Whaaaaaaaat was an interstellar object and was not a natural, normal asteroid or comet, but that it had to be guided by some type of intelligent life form because it was flying at a total different speed than everything else in our solar system. That is because everything in our solar system is controlled by a constant gravitational pull of the sun, making everything fly through space at the exact same speed. The only things that fly through space at different speeds are what we, humans, our spaceships, our rocket ships, our probes that we send out into space, and we, the propulsion behind it, send it at higher speeds than the rest of the asteroids and stuff going through. Because our rocket ship is not controlled by the gravitational pull of the sun. It's controlled by our own intelligent ability to create a propulsion. That's why it flies at a different speed than everything else. So when Whaaaaaaaat come flying through out of interstellar space into our solar system, it was flying at different speeds than everything else, not just faster, but sometimes it would slow down, then it would speed up, and then it would move around. Meaning, what are you serious? And so that's why I'm saying, when you start to listen to this interview with Avi Loeb, the Harvard professor who then actually found those spheres of the remnant of a crashed spaceship that crashed into the Pacific Ocean, and they went out there and they found the remnants of it, and it's exotic metals that are not from this planet, and they're not even from the solar system. So where are they from? What are they? These small little metal balls. That's because as the craft was coming in, it breaks up in the heat of the atmosphere coming through, and then it just melts them into little balls, and they fall all in the bottom of the ocean. They take a huge magnet, and they were able to sweep them up. It's a great interview. I need you to check that out. So I started listening to that this morning thinking, okay, they were able to calculate this interstellar object, this what looked like almost like a cigar thing flying through our solar system, changing speeds and directions. Nothing can do that. It means its propulsion has to be done by something outside of our solar system. That doesn't mean God didn't do it, because God can do anything and he does everything. But it definitely means this thing defied the laws of nature that God's put in, natural laws that God has put into play. And God is the one that put these natural laws into play, like the law of gravity. And so, and the law of relativity and others. So, if that's the case, as it went flying by, and as this other one come crashing in, then could Planet X, because what Planet X is doing is creating another gravitational pull that's affecting the planets, the asteroids, the meteorites that are closer to it than are closer to our sun, affecting their speed due to an binary gravitational pull, like a binary system. That is why these scientists, this is why NASA, this is why all these brilliant minds are saying, hold on a minute, they can't do that unless there's something else out there that can pull on the other planets. There's something else out there. And is it, as it's coming by the edges of our solar system, the closer and closer and closer it gets? That's another song. The closer it gets, the further we'll fall. It's Planet X, or it's nothing at all. No, stop it. Just stop making up songs like that. It's getting worse. No. So, wormwood effect. The Bible says that in the book of Revelation, in the 8th chapter, and I can read it. Let's grab the Bible. The Bible says in Revelation chapter 8, Revelation 8, it says that there's going to be 2 deep impacts, bringing with it so much radiation, because you know stuff that falls from space has radiation. So here's what it says. If you go to Revelation 8:8, and the second angel sounded, and as it were a great mountain burning with fire was cast into the sea, and the third part of the sea became blood, and a third part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died, and a third part of the ships were destroyed. And a third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp, and it fell upon the third part of the rivers, and upon the fountains of waters. And the name of the star is called Wormwood, and a third part of the waters became wormwood, or poisonous, or bitter, or radiation poisoning. And many men died of the waters because they were made bitter or poisonous. And obviously it's through the radiation. And the Bible calls this wormwood. So I'm just bringing this up. I think somebody's got to talk about it from a biblical standpoint, from a theological standpoint, and I'll do it. I remember how people used to get so mad at me when they said, Paul Begley, they would write articles about me, and they would say, Paul Begley, the theologian, and they would just drive them insane. I'm so sorry. I didn't make up that term. They did. But this is very interesting. So let's just keep an eye on all of this. This is something I want you to keep thinking about. I'm going to probably revisit this again Sunday night on Sunday Night Live. But I will say this. If you don't have your ticket for the webinar, you can still get it all weekend long. Just go to paulbegleyprophecy.com. That's paulbegleyprophecy.com. Or we have 2 phone lines open today. Call the number 765-414-2230 or 765-414-6299. And let's get these links to you, and let's get you guys watching one of the most, and will be one of the most talked about webinars on this subject, aliens above and below, that we've ever done. God bless you guys. I just love you, and I hope you've enjoying the weekend. Enjoy this webinar, and we'll be back with more. Thank you for your love gifts and support. Thank you for your tithe and offerings. Keep our message of getting the gospel of Jesus Christ. The reason we're talking about all these things is to get people realizing that Jesus Christ is coming soon. The signs are everywhere. God bless. I'll be back. Are you saved?